degree. It's almost like a no-brainer, right? If you know you're gonna need it, then if it's free, then you need to make the time to make it happen, because hell, it's free, man. It's free. What's up, guys? Should you get a master's degree if it's free? Is it worth it if it's free? And let's go over a case study of this person who submitted a question on Reddit, and then I'm gonna give you my personal take on it. This person says, is a master's degree worth it if it's free? It gives a short intro here, and it says, should I get a master's degree in one of these? Business information technology, software engineering, cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is hot nowadays for sure. Informatics, computer and systems engineering, communicative electronics. A lot of great fields here, honestly. And then he says, or she, I don't know. Is it better to go straight to a job after a bachelor's degree? And it says, I would love much more my future job if it would be some work in collective with people around me, not just sitting in some closed room coding all day long along. It says, I am more of a programming fan than of a hardware stuff, so I don't particularly like the last two ones, but what about the others? It says, just to be more precise, I am no chance going to take the PhD or go to academia. I just want to get paid really well and get my family a good life. I want to say that maybe this is we can extrapolate this data point, just one data point, or I'm the second one. A lot of people just want to get a good education so that we can provide a good life for ourselves and also for our family, the people that depend on us, right? I think that a lot of people could relate to this. So we're going to take a look at some of the comments, and then at the end of the day, I'm going to give you my take on it. So let's get right into it. I found a really good one. So he says, Delwin says, I am 13 years into my career and I have a bachelor's. We have a proposal in that I was going to be lead for. So basically, this person needs 20 years or a master's degree, and he's not making the cut because he doesn't have a master's degree or the experience. So he suggests, get the master's, it's worth it. This engineering manager says, government proposal requirements seems a bit silly. Like, that's one of the things that happens with the government. Sometimes the government gives you some requirements that you need to meet, and that means education requirements for the people that are going to be working on the contracts. And if you don't meet those requirements, even if you're not going to need the actual education, then you become quote unquote ineligible for the contract. So that's kind of like an industry thing for government work that I've seen here in the United States, at least. And it says, I agree. If you can do the work, then you can do it, and you should be able to do it. So, but anyway, so another person's here in Sweden getting a master's degree at my university will increase their starting salary like 50%. Wow, that's crazy. It's also much better for the future. I guess almost the same should apply to Estonia. So one of the things that I've noticed is that I think a lot of countries in Europe offer free education for master's degrees. And here in the United States, of course, is different. But here in the US, if you've seen any of my previous videos about master's degrees, there are ways that you certainly could get free education. You just kind of have to find your way through it, either having a company pay for it or working for the school or getting scholarships. So I made videos about that on how you can make that happen. So I'm actually going to link them in the description here. So it says, think about this. If you start working, Ferox says, if you start working at 20 and retire at 65, that's 45 years you have to bother with this stuff, with the master's. If a degree at the beginning costs a bit of time but makes your life a bit easier, and the master does, especially in the tech sector, it'll pay off for sure. And you get it for free as long as the state recognizes you're golden. I agree. So it's kind of like a catch-22, right? It's like it really depends. It's really going to depend on your personal situation, on the timing. It also depends on the industry. So there's a lot of things to take into account, a lot of parameters. But here's one more comment that we're going to see, and then I'm gonna give you my take on it. This is what I've gathered from things I've heard from people that I've talked to. If you can get a master's for free, employer pays for it, etc., then do so. Otherwise, in this field, it seems to grab the bachelor's and try to get your foot in the door somewhere. So OP, I don't know what OP means. I'd have to suggest grabbing the master's while you can. So here's actually another one. Okay, last one, I promise. It really depends on the labor market and employer expectations. I don't know about Estonia, but in some countries, a master's is more or less expected, especially for highly technical fields. I would suggest you look at what your peers do, what employers think, and research the curriculum of the master's program a bit. Okay, so I'm going to tell you straight up that personally, I know that everyone's got different goals. Everybody's in different parts of their lives. But the only time I personally would get a master's degree that is free is if I were just graduating engineering school. If we go back 10 years and 2012, and I am in my last year in engineering school, and I would have found a way to get a free master's degree, definitely I would have gotten it over with. I wouldn't have cared whether or not I'm going to need it in the future. I would have taken the opportunity as fast as I could and just get it over with. If it's free, I don't care whether or not I'm going to use it. I'm going to get that master's degree right there. Now, if you came back with the same proposal nowadays, and then you asked me and you told me, hey, Alex, I will give you a free master's degree, would you want to do it? I'm 10 years on the field, and considering my future goals, based on what I know now, of course, and considering my future goals, that I don't want to go to academia, I don't want to teach, I'm not planning on going up the corporate ladder, I am not planning on opening an engineering company providing technical services where a master's degree, it may be required. And so for me right now, I see no need for a master's degree going forward. And so I would respectfully, very sarcastic, I would respectfully reject that master's degree, the free master's degree. So that's just me. If I were just getting done with engineering school, I would definitely get it over with. If it's free, done, over. Right now, I wouldn't get it because it doesn't align with my future goals. But if it did align with my future goals, of course, if I thought it would be helpful, then yes, I would get a free master's degree. It's almost like a no-brainer, right? If you know you're going to need it, then if it's free, then you need to make the time to make it happen because hell, it's free, man. It's free. So when it comes to our free master's degrees, that's what I personally think right now in my career. If you want to know more about what I think about master's degrees, go watch this video right here. But like this video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the other side. Take care. Peace.